Have you ever seen something, maybe just for a second, or caught something on camera that just felt off?
Absolutely. That moment where something happens that just doesn't square with, everyday reality.
Makes you really stop and think.
Exactly. That jolt of seeing something truly anomalous.
Well, you are definitely in the right place today. On the deep dive, we're going to look closely at some footage that's been called some of the most mysterious UFO and paranormal stuff captured between 2017 and 2018.
Yeah, this is a curated top 5 list. It came out of a collaboration between Third Phase of Moon and Look Now TV. Some really intriguing clips here.
So our mission today, really, is to walk you through this specific footage. We'll get into the details, the interpretations, the original sources offered.
And really explore the questions these clips raise, about what we think is possible. We'll stick to what the sources presented, lay it out for you.
Exactly. I'm definitely ready to look at this stuff. The original sources highlighted some really amazing, perplexing visuals. So let's jump in.
Sounds good.
Okay, so kicking us off at number 5, it's being called the Nibiru anomaly. What we're seeing here is, well, a really confusing sky phenomenon.
Right. You've got the original video on one side and then a sort of enhanced, blown-up version next to it.
And the big question they posed was, is this just the sun setting, reflecting off clouds, top and bottom, or is it simply some kind of optical illusion?
Yeah, that's the core puzzle.
Okay, let's unpack this. What makes this so mysterious, beyond just looking odd? What's the sort of cognitive challenge here?
Well, the big challenge right off the bat is telling the difference between, say, a known atmospheric effect, maybe some weird reflections, and something genuinely out there, anomalous. And the source does bring up the Nibiru theory. Now, that's a whole other topic, but for some folks, it's this idea of a, hidden planet or something.
Right, a kind of fringe theory.
Exactly. So this footage becomes a perfect example of how when we see something ambiguous, we might lean towards these grander, maybe more cosmic explanations. It's almost like confirmation bias playing out. You see something weird and the theory you already know kind of fits.
Okay, that makes sense. So from strange skies, we're shifting gears a bit. Number 4, the massive Mexico UFO.
Ah, yes, this one. Captured around 2010, the source says, by someone named Jimenez.
And it's described as just a large object. Looking closely, the source notes it almost looks like a diamond at times with a rugged edge.
But also like a disc, right? It mentions that too, and something protruding from the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what really jumps out is this scale. They call it massive. You see buildings, a structure, a mountain in the shot for comparison.
And they zoom in?
It gets huge, yeah. And the source is pretty definite. No commercial drone. They actually label it an extraterrestrial alien craft, in their opinion.
Quite a claim.
Here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just a tiny light, is it? What about that size or those features, like the protrusion, really grabbed the original observers?
Well, things like that apparent massive scale and those specific odd features, the rugged edge, something sticking out that's what elevates it,
Right.
beyond just a blurry light.
Sure.
It really forces you to grapple with the visual evidence. How do you even classify something like that if it doesn't fit neatly into known categories? It pushes the definition of unidentified. And it's worth noting the source mentions this video is highly regarded in the third phase of Moon Archive. So it clearly holds some significance for UFO researchers or ufologists.
Okay. Now for number 3, we're taking a sharp turn. The haunted morgue poltergeist.
Yeah, this one is pretty creepy. The footage is supposedly from a former morgue in Brazil, a place where, as they point out, dead bodies are examined.
You see the chills already. And the main event. Doors just banging open and shut over and over.
Right. The setting is perfect horror movie stuff, creepy, poorly lit corridor. And it's filmed like a point of view style, like a security guard holding a flashlight and phone, following someone else.
And you hear this sinister banging. Then you see this red door slam shut, and apparently nobody there.
And the lights flicker, too. That classic detail often reported with paranormal claims.
So what does this all mean? Is this the real deal or something else entirely? Someone watching might just say, oh, it's wind. What details push back against that? I mean, I wouldn't want to get my fingers wedged in that door.
No kidding. Well, this really shows how we interpret things, doesn't it? The source lays out both sides. One, maybe it is paranormal activity, a poltergeist.
Okay.
Or two, could it be a simple wind draft, or maybe a vacuum of pressure causing it?
Right.
But the source adds the observation that the door looks actually very heavy. It would take, quote, Quite some wind to move it like that.
Mm.
So that physical detail, the heavy door plus the flickering lights, pushes back against the simple explanation. It depends on your perspective, scientific or supernatural.
Right, right. Okay, back to the skies for number 2. This is Dr. Phil's mysterious sky object.
Not that Dr. Phil, presumably, but yeah, a still photo taken by someone called Dr. Phil 59.
And it shows this object floating high in the sky, described as unusual and unidentified, maybe some sort of UFO, and interestingly, apparently taken without any fancy high-tech equipment.
Just a regular camera, it seems.
Visually, the key thing the source points out is that the clouds don't seem to match what this object is. Like, on the left, it looks like we see the sun, but in the middle, we almost see some sort of cone-shaped object.
Cone-shaped.
Yeah. The source called the shot beautiful, interesting, and mysterious.
Yeah.
And they did some work with brightness and contrast to really pull this anomaly out of the sky, make it stand out. So what does that separation from the cloud suggest? Is it just an odd cloud, or?
Well, that distinct separation is really the crux of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The source emphasizes it's separated from the sky, this thing's right up there. That visual isolation fuels the whole unidentified aspect.
Makes sense.
The commentary also brings up a chemtrail whisperer connection, which acknowledges that some people interpret these things through very specific lenses, like theories about secret government spraying, maybe hiding weird stuff in the sky.
Ah, okay. So different interpretations again.
Exactly. It just shows the range of ways people try to explain ambiguous visuals.
Okay, here we are. Number 1, the top spot on this list, the UK UFO lights.
Right, building the suspense here. This footage is from the UK. It shows 3 bright lights.
And the witness account is pretty detailed. Initially, the lights are green, then they change to purple.
Color-changing lights, always intriguing.
But it's the movement. The source says one has moved next to another, they've changed color, then one's gone behind the chimney, coming back again.
Okay, so complex maneuvering.
Yeah. Then the 2 have actually split up. And finally, one's moving again to form a triangle, which was apparently the shapes the witness first saw.
Wow, that's quite a sequence, forming shapes reappearing.
And the witness even says, one seems to land in the distance. Whoa, this sounds incredibly compelling. What makes this the top of the list? Those details on color and formation seem key.
From a ufologist's viewpoint, absolutely. Those detailed observations, the color shift, the deliberate seeming movements, forming patterns like a triangle, splitting up, one even apparently landing, that's rich data.
So what's the debate around this one?
Well, the source boils it down pretty clearly. Some people say these are drones. Other people are saying they are real UFOs.
The classic dilemma.
Exactly. It highlights that constant challenge. Is it just advanced human tech, sophisticated drones, maybe even secret reverse-engineered military technology, or is it something else, extraterrestrial?
Right. UFO just means unidentified.
Precisely. Unidentified flying object. But as the source notes, ufologists say they are alien. And that distinction between advanced but known tech and something truly unknown, possibly alien, well, that's the big question we need to find out, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely the core mystery. So that wraps up our deep dive through these 5 really intriguing clips. We went from, possible optical illusions and spooky morgue doors.
Right, to weird sky objects and these really complex maneuvering lights in the UK.
And the original sources really just presented the footage and asked viewers to make up their own minds. We hope we've given you the context to do the same.
What's really fascinating about all this, I think, is how these videos just make you question things. How we see, how we interpret something unusual. That line between what we can explain away and what feels truly unknown.
It really taps into that universal curiosity, doesn't it, about the edges of reality?
Absolutely. Even now, with cameras everywhere, there's still so much mystery.
Which leads to a final thought. In a world saturated with cameras, where advanced drones and weird atmospheric effects are becoming more common, what does it even mean for something to be truly unidentified anymore?
That's a great question.
And maybe more importantly,
Yeah.
what are we still missing?
What?
What's hiding in plain sight right in front of our eyes?